Hey YouTube, this is Kyle from Team ONX, throwing a ninja deck profile at you. This is my little cousin Brandon's deck. He does very well with it. He's only 12, so, like, of course he's gonna make a couple misplays, but he's learning, and, he does separate tournaments than us at, locals. He does Duelist League, and he destroys the competition, so... Here's the deck list. The extra deck isn't done, but we'll just show you what he has so far. And tell us what you think. Alright. So, two White Dragon Ninjas. I don't agree with one. If you draw into your one, you don't have another one. And we run ways to get rid of this out of your hand, so I'll show you all that later. 3 Hanzo, 2 gold. I don't like 3, it clogs up. Never a point for 3. 1 Sazank because gold can put it face down, and if it flips it sends. 3 Guaiba and a Velo. The Velo dies, gets you a Guaiba, and then you tackle Guaiba, go into Logia, which we don't have yet. 1 Grand Mole, it's busted. 1 Tragodia to stop the OTKs. That's if they don't have a White Dragon Ninja, they're gonna get OTK'd unless they have back row, and Tragodia stops that. 1 Gen X Ally Birdman to recycle the Hanzos on the field. You summon a Hanzo, it gets Veilered, you just return the Hanzo, summon the Birdman, or you can Synchro and blow up the field and then play your field. And 1 BLS. 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 3 Duality to set up your hands, 3 MST. We do not run Heavy Storm because Heavy Storm is not good for you to use. It's one of those cards that this deck usually sets up turn 1, and Heavy Storm, if you have it, you're just gonna sit there with it in your hand until you're able to use it. And we decided we wanted to play cards that we could play on that turn instead of having to waiting. Traps, 3 Ninjutsu Art, because it's amazing. Gets rid of a card off their field too, and then you get a monster. 2 Save Zones, because 1 is not drawn enough. This gives you an invincible ninja. Also, it can save you when your opponent attacks directly. Stuff like that. 2 Raigeki Break. This is why we run 2 of the White Dragon Ninjas, because we can now get rid of it out of our hand, blow up a card on the field, and continue with a push. We thought about Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Phoenix Wing Wind Blast sets your opponent back a turn. This sets you further ahead in this turn, so essentially it'll do the same thing. 2 Compulse, because it's Compulse, gets rid of a lot. 2 Prisons, because Prison is amazing. 1 Warning. I think we're gonna stay at 1 Warning because paying too many life points sucks. So I don't know. I think 1 Warning's fine because the compulses are in there. 1 Solemn Judgment. It's Solemn Judgment. Torrential Tribute, because it's Torrential Tribute. It needs to be played this format. Starlight Road, you run a shit ton of spells and traps, and your field, you always have them. If you have an invincible ninja, you're not going to have to worry about this card, but Dark Hole, Torrential, all that shit, it gets stopped. And then 1 Dark Bribe, for people who try to warning my Hanzo, this will, instead of having to pay the 4,000 or however much you're paying for a Solemn Judgment, we run this to stop it, and it's a lot better than having to pay the life points to protect yourself. And all of these are traps, and that's a thick stack of traps for a deck, so that's why Starlight Red's in there. For the extra deck, We run 2 Leviathan because it can be made with Birdman. Birdman's in there. What's his name? Sazank and Grand Mole. 1 Blade Armor Ninja. I've never seen more than 1 pulled out with him using the deck. With me using the deck, I've never pulled out more than 1 at a time. So don't need more than 1. 2 Utopia. Just because, I guess, filler. One of these would become a Logia or a Dolka, but we don't have either one of those. 1 Utopia Ray because we run Utopia. And if you run out of attack negations, he's going to die if he's attacked again, so you just overlay a Utopia Ray and now you're safe. Then we run Iron Chain because of Grand Mole, Sazank, Birdman, 1 Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth, because the same reason. Ancient Fairy Dragon, he's a 7-star, that's really good. You can, it's fun to special summon stuff like, your Hanzo get stuff to your hand and not attack this turn, just set a big wall and whatnot, and then you have your traps that are gonna get rid of all their shit, which is super fun. 1 Black Rose to blow up the field because you can make it, and 1 Stardust Dragon because we run Starlight Road. That's the deck. The side deck, I don't generally like showing side decks on deck lists because, I mean, your side deck is your choice. The only things I will talk about in the side deck are these 2 right here. Debunk, because this deck gets Veilered a lot, your Hanzos do. Debunk, because of being Veilered, you just side deck multiples of these, and that's really good. And then Veiler, because this format usually does call for it, but this deck doesn't generally need it unless it's going against like wind-ups, or if it's going against Inzectors. And even if they're going against Inzectors, they're going to target a card to blow up, and you're going to chain and get your Invincible Ninja, and then they're not going to blow shit up. If they blow up your monster, you just chain. You know what to do. Anyway, yeah, those are the only cards I really wanted to talk about that were in the side deck. But rate, comment, subscribe, tell us what you think. And by the way, ninjas are going to be busted at the beginning of next format anyway, so y'all might want to pick up on them. And the only reason I say that is because they're a very controlling deck, and control is going to be the best. So for every beginning format. So yeah, hit the like button too.